podcast presented to you by the Media Committee. I am Luna Andenge and I will be your host today, and I'll just give the opportunity to my co-host to introduce himself.
Good day everyone, my name is Owen and I'll be the co-host for this podcast.
So now that you have met us, we want to give the floor over to our wonderful guest over here to tell them a little bit more about themselves.
Hello guys, my name is Liborio Shonyangange and I am a face member of the Caribites Enterprise.
Hi JEDs community, my name is Dina Daniel and I'm the chairperson of the Financial Literacy Society on our campus, and I am also the proud owner of Infinite Hampers.
Good day all. I'm Daniel Starani. I'm a first year JEDs campus doing engineering, mining, and I'm here just to be a base on the financial topic for today.
Okay, so just to lighten up the mood, I would like us to have a little bit of an icebreaker. So my icebreaker would be, if your account had a personality and could speak, what would it say? Your bank account.
I'm broke as yeah.
Okay? Dina, how about you? What would your account say?
I think mine hides in the shadows, because once something goes in, nothing comes out.
Oh. The boys?
Don't decrease.
Don't decrease.
Don't decrease.
Okay. So I know that you are feeling welcomed. I hope you are feeling welcomed. I hope you are settled in. And Dina, I would like to ask you, you are the president of the Financial Literacy Club, right?
Yes, that's right.
So what would you say is the greatest mistake that students make financially?
I would say the greatest mistake that students make is not tracking their expenses. Why do I say that? It's because you can go through a month, or rather, let me say, the 2 weeks within which you get your allowance. You end up spending on little bits here and there, but you don't end up tracking how much and where you spend that amount. So you might have spent 300 within 2 weeks, but do you know exactly where you spent it? You do not know. You cannot account for that money or where it went. Yeah.
Okay, so Daniel, do you feel that receiving an allowance has taught you financial responsibility?
Excuse me?
Do you feel that receiving an allowance has taught you financial responsibility?
At this point of, it hasn't taught me any responsibilities,
Why
because
do you say that?
basically I'm just misusing the money because it's just given to me like that. So I see there's an opportunity to misuse it, because as when I was a child, getting money like this was not really that often. So at this point I feel happy that I've been getting the money monthly. So then yeah, it's just basically misusing it.
So you would say that if you were younger and your parents did introduce money to you at an early age, whether it be monthly or weekly, you would be more financially responsible.
Yeah, if they introduced it earlier, yeah, I would have been more responsible. But yeah, that's all.
So that was really quite insightful, especially what Dina said about tracking your finances. It is very important as students to track your finances, just so that you could know where your money is going and if you're using it in a proper way. And it will probably be very beneficial, Dina. I think you would agree, for students to have businesses on campus, just so that they can be able to gain more income.
Just to quickly go back to what Daniel said, he's saying that if his parents had introduced like a form of financial literacy or just a bit of financial responsibility on him, he would be more educated in how he handled his money right now. And going back to the challenges that you asked earlier on, I would say that's also one of the challenges, the fact that students are now thrown in this academic environment whereby they are expected in a certain level to be self-reliant, right? And they don't have any prior knowledge on how to take care of themselves. So with that income or with that allowance that they do receive, they do become irresponsible with it.
Yeah. And so back on the topic of having business on campus, we have our fellow guest here who has a business on campus. What would you say was your biggest challenge starting off your business? And what advice would you give to students who also want to start businesses?
Basically, I would say it wasn't that easy. I actually didn't find it that simple for such a, let me call it such a small business, such a small business
Yeah.
to overgrow that quickly. It wasn't that difficult, even though it thought to be difficult. It wasn't difficult at all. And advising those that would like to, or those that are, how can I say, those that are influenced in trying to get their business as well, they should, especially at such an area, at least a business that you can see that at this moment it's needed.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah. And it's actually very creative because I understand for students, especially engineering students, there is not really time to cook and prepare meals. So for him having a business where he sells very much loaded hot dogs, it's very convenient to students, and I feel like students should also start looking at things where what is actually a need, like you said. Don't just start up a business, but check what are actually the needs in your surroundings. Yeah.
So Dina, and as a student entrepreneur, how do you juggle academics and your business?
I think the first thing that I put in mind is prioritizing what's more important, right? So when you are faced with the two, obviously both of them are beneficial. One is harder, which is like the academics, and takes up more time, but you just have to prioritize that. At the end of the day, what you came here for is the academics, so you put that above all else. But that does not mean that you should also now neglect the other part. Like, I also don't neglect the other part of business, and I also believe that making hampers, it's not something that takes me much time, although it looks like a lot of creativity and a lot of time went into it. Not at all. I've actually learned how to make them in a short amount of time, like 30-minute stops, right? Yeah.
So I heard you make hampers, right?
Yes.
So what are some of the marketing strategies that you use since you know the target market is
Right now, the people within my circle are students. So even the people that the people that I am able to advertise to, are generally just students. But I've tried as well to reach out more to the working class. How do I do that? Basically, I do that through Instagram. I also do that through WhatsApp. I believe that social media does really have a good impact on small business owners, because you can share a reel, you can share a post with someone, and you can say that, oh no, please tag me in your post, please share this on your story, and you can get 1 or 2 clients from there.
Okay, so Laborious, I know that you have a business. So what advice would you give to students that also want to start businesses just to make an extra income?
Students that would like to start a business of their own as well, they shouldn't give up. They should start their business. They should advertise. I also advertise my own business. I have a business enterprise outside, at home. That's where I deal with my business, and we enterprise. I mean, we advertise as in we build some billboard places, and we advertise specials of events that are upcoming, or if you have we even give offers as if there is your siblings with a certain party, then we can how can I say, we can sponsor. Yeah, we can sponsor you with what we can do about categories.
So Laborious, since it's a food enterprise, how do you deal, and there are a lot of food enterprises, how do you deal with competition?
With me, there is no competition here. There is no competition at all. Yeah, basically, Cadibites doesn't challenge it. It's simple. It just doesn't challenge. What is there is there. If you cannot, you can.
And you know your target audience.
Yes.
So Daniel, I would like to ask now, you say that you do get a monthly allowance. how do you plan your allowance in order to ensure that you have the basic needs and you also have money to splurge?
How I plan it is really not written or anything. I just freestyle. Buy what I think I need and the rest I just play with it.
And has that been effective for you?
Till this point, yeah. It hasn't given me problems.
But you at least like write down things that you need. Like for me, I always write down at the end of every month things that I maybe finish that I need to buy so that I don't overspend. Do you do that?
I just buy what I know is not there. Then the rest I just spend on stupid things.
Like what? Things like what?
Snacks, sweets, maybe just toys if I feel like.
What toys?
I know we're in university, but still there's still a childish person in me who likes
Yeah,
the
yeah.
toys. So
But
yeah.
what toys do you buy? I'm very curious.
Stickman, toy trucks. Like basically, I'm doing mining right now, so I need to experience the excavating trucks. So I just buy the small ones, then I experiment in the sand, how they mine, all that.
Very smart.
So that's basically all that I do with my money.
So, you feel that this way of living in reckless spending or having a budget on that is convenient for you? Do you have any regrets about it?
I was taught not to regret what you do. So what I do is basically for me and I'm happy with it. And I'll just keep on being like that until I feel like, yeah, it's time to change and need to grow up. So check. So basically I'm enjoying it.
So, Ina, as you mentioned, what are some of the skills that you have learned in this whole business environment?
Don't eat your stock money. It can I realized it's very tempting, like, because for me, I don't only do hampers, but I also have stock of biltong, chili patties, chili bites, and all that. So it can be very tempting, like when you sell here and there and you see that money accumulating and you know that you are not due to make another stock order soon. So you would feel like maybe I can spend this money on something else. But I have learned to be disciplined that stock money is strictly just money for stock. Don't splurge it on other things. Yeah.
So, I see you're very responsible spender and all that. What advice do you have for students on reckless spending?
Join financial literacy. The reason why I came up with the Financial Literacy Society, money-wise, it's exactly in the money. It's exactly in the name. Like, financial literacy is financial freedom. When you educate yourself, like, one thing I've learned when I came to this campus, to the engineering campus, is that you should make use of all the opportunities that are offered on campus. Like, don't limit yourself to only having an education in the lecture halls or just with the lectures, but so many societies offer different things, and that is what the financial literacy is aimed to doing, helping students like Daniel to learn how to budget their money, how to save their money, how to track their expenses as well. So financial literacy opens up a room or an environment where students can come, discuss, and advise each other on how to go about things. So join financial literacy, guys.
Okay, so I know that as students, sometimes, especially during I don't know, it's maybe just me, but middle of the month day, it's a bit dry. And the meat is done, there's just pop left, there's just tin fish. So according to you, your own personal experience, all three of you, what would be your worst struggle meal? Or do you have struggle meals? Let me start there.
Sure. I guess we all have struggles. Yeah, during the middle of the month, it's very dry, guys.
Yeah.
It's very dry, and like me as a face member, like it's very dry, but I just have to take that struggle meal, not like curry bite is in front of me,
Yeah.
but I just can't take it.
Because discipline, you need
Yeah,
discipline.
yeah.
But
so
she said,
what would it be now? What is your struggle meal? What is it actually?
like I should.
Maybe you can change the struggle meals a bit. Maybe I try something new.
I only one struggle meal in my life. It's big from home. We only deal with flour, that's all. We only deal with porridge. That's
So
the only
porridge, simple, climb done.
yeah, climb down.
Okay. Now how about you? What's your struggle meal?
So for me, I'm a vampu, right? So when you come from home, you know, when your parents are dropping you off at school, you come from home, no siramos, like with flour, mahangu, right? So along with that mahangu, you also come with omboga, ombidzi, like the dry spinach. So my worst struggle meal is that mahangu porridge
Yeah.
with that dried spinach. You make it work, but like once you add a bit of chili in it, don't worry, it's not a struggle meal anymore.
So what it's now a luxurious
3-course meal.
five-star hotel. Hey Daniel, I know you've just been here for maybe a month or so.
Yeah.
What is your struggle meal?
Instant.
Instant porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. Instant in noodles. But noodles is luxurious for me. Like that is a luxury. I would say my struggle meal would be you just make pop man. Then you get it in nice magazine or newspaper where you
So you
yeah, and then you cut out a picture like a fish or meat and stuff like that. Put your pop here in the picture. Then at least your mind gets to be full, man. No, you haven't need but then deep down.
imagination.
Imagination.
Be
counts.
creative.
Yeah, you need to be creative. It's true. It's really true.
And Zoan, what about you?
Well, okay, like you said, the money, the meat, and your relish, everything is done. So I'd probably say, just rice,
Yeah.
just
That's
Tomato sauce.
That's labs.
That is
Rice
that is luxury right there.
rice with sugar and butter though. Have you guys tried that? You
Yeah.
guys should try rice, sugar and butter.
For real?
With sugar, water, no. I'm telling you.
No, but there with Zoan, that is a luxury. Tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce.
Do you have the middle size noodle on the map?
but
Hasn't it finished? Those things
there's
finish?
nothing
2
else.
weeks.
I mean, it's also nothing else, no vegetables, just vegetables, cook your rice.
And the
then-
pressure of seeing people in the kitchen cooking your
Eish.
salads and you're making mixed veggies and you're just
Somebody is frying
no, like,
5
I
large
finished my
potatoes.
meat. I'm just here to make my balance.
And actually, that should actually just motivate us how to spend.
Properly.
Yeah.
And would you say that, okay, this is for all of you, would you guys say that buying in bulk is better or buying according to your needs?
If I may answer that first, the thing is that with buying in bulk, it's very expensive, right? So when you do that, it's like you have to be saving prior before you go to the shop actually. So you can't just decide that no, I'm going to buy 10 kg of everything. You can't do that unless you maybe budgeted for it like for 2 months or 3 months, then you can do that. Otherwise, buying small quantities will do.
I, I feel like buying for small quantities. It's better you buy consuming the long lasting period.
I would also say that actually buying in bulk is actually better. You don't have to buy everything in bulk for the month. You can always start with maybe rice, maybe 5 kgs. You could only 5 kg and then maybe busy you week. So you don't need luxury things. That's the thing. Many of the time students think that they need luxury stuff. You need also heavenly. Like it's nice. It's nice to have that, but no one knows that you're using also heavenly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for the boys, I wanted to ask more about how you manage to make a profit and how you make sure that you make a profit. Like, how do you ensure that you don't make a loss in your business?
Like our business, preferably, let me just start like with the prices.
Yes, please tell us so that we could also support the.
Yeah. Like the prices of curry bites. Basically, it's just a normal price of $30. It was $25, but now due to that the business is moving forward, we just want to see like we feel it will become even much more bigger. If it decreases, then I guess, yeah, we'll maybe bring it. So we are ensuring that, what was your question again?
How do you ensure you make a profit?
How
and
do
not
I
a loss?
ensure I make a profit? I like, as in I do like special combos, right? It's combos. And I find it, I never experienced like leftover food, but not that much, but maybe only I guess few. But what we do with it, we don't make it last for like the whole day. The will decrease. If it spends the whole day, then we are 24 hours. During the last hours, we at least decrease it just so that it just doesn't.
Sells out.
Yeah, it just sells out.
It's really good because I think that as much as you have a business, you have to keep track of your finances. You have to keep track of how much you have earned and how much you're spending as well, just to ensure that you aren't making a loss in the long run. Yeah.
So, Dina, how do you actually decide something is worth spending your money on? When you're doing a shopping and all that?
Well. Obviously, like any other human being, sometimes you go in a shop and you are like, you see this shirt or you see something and it looks good and you're like, maybe I can just impulsively buy these. But what I do is that I will leave it for that day, then I'll go home and think about it. So if I go back home and I'm like, I still want it, then maybe I can come back for it. Or I can like put one or two together and save up a bit or put it on lay-by. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed of as a student to put clothes or things on lay-by, right? So yeah, I also do that. But how do I decide that something is worth buying in that moment? It's if it's a necessity, if I really need it. Yes.
Yeah, and I also feel like just as much as you are saving up and doing all those good things, I also think it's important to spoil yourself.
Of
I mean, a life with just saving, it gets to a point where now you're also tired, and now let's say maybe you've been saving for so many months that the hunger and that thirst of wanting something, and you just start spending recklessly.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important to spoil yourself here and there. Especially as engineering students, you know, we have presentations. If you don't have like suits and stuff, invest in those things. Those are things that you can maybe buy. This month you buy the pants, next month you buy the jacket, the next month you buy the shoes, and then you're good to go. The cycle just keeps going and your wardrobe also
Exactly.
keeps increasing.
Because you are also a worth it investment
Yeah,
as a
you as
student.
well, as well.
You are a
That's
worth
true.
it investment.
So, Daniel, hearing from the engineers themselves, do you feel you would want to start a business? Or is there anything that they said that you think was
I wouldn't want to start a business. I see that it's too much commitment and responsibility, as they said. You need to be consistent with your work, advertisement. I'm not really of a person of the internet, so with advertising I won't be doing much, so don't go anywhere. So basically with business I won't be thinking of it anytime soon.
But what would you maybe say is your biggest money mistake?
Money mistake, like what I
Like,
spent.
what would you regret spending on?
Nothing.
Is that
Ah,
everything is
okay, I was raised in a house where I don't buy my own things.
um,
They buy for me what I need. So basically my wants I never got them. So there's no regret.
I think the host should also answer that question. What is your biggest mistake, spending mistake?
well, I'm also very disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Very disciplined person. Even in momentarily, very disciplined. But I will maybe say my biggest spending mistake would be on food. Because I love food. And sometimes, like, you buy groceries, like so much groceries, and then you end up buying KFC, you know. Like, I feel like the KFC is a reward to me for going out there and actually doing the shopping. So my biggest spending mistake would be spending money on food recklessly.
But is it even a grocery haul if you don't pass by KFC or Hungry? Like, because you can't eat the groceries the day you buy them.
It should sit in there and just marinate for a while.
Chill a bit. You can't eat the same groceries that you just bought. No.
I feel like you get spending mistake. It's also like lots of food because people should not just live on food and other stuff like clothes and all that. And as students, I feel we should always just depend on our parents to okay, my parents will buy me clothes or whatever. Like you said, lay-by and all that. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can just put in a lay-by for yourself, probably while you're doing your groceries. Just so you can also have something that's not food because food finishes.
Yes.
So, Dina, as an entrepreneur and as the president of the Financial Literacy Club, what financial advice would you give to the first year student? Just the right, some of them are coming from home where their parents are in charge of their money, their
Yeah.
parents are buying their groceries, their parents are buying their clothes. What advice would you give them now that they are starting their own independent life?
Number one, join financial literacy.
Yeah.
I will keep saying it over and over and over again. Join financial literacy, guys. But the other thing is just that before you go spending, just stop and think for a moment, right? Because you never know, you should at least always have that extra $100 in your pocket. You can't go through the month. You have now splurged. You are in your room and you want to tell me you don't even have $100 left in your pocket. You shouldn't do that. That is not safe. It's not responsible. Because mind you, you are on your own. Like maybe if you are really a long distance from home, you are on your own. So in case of any emergencies, like you can't even be able to sort yourself halfway through or something like that. Yes.
So this question is for entrepreneurs. What was your main source of capital to start your business? Can you rephrase that?
Yes, a bit, please.
What sponsored you for starting your business? Parents, savings.
I think I should allow the parents to answer first.
You can think about it. I just wanted to ask a question as well. Like, I feel like this financial literacy thing is, I should also consider. Yeah. And I just want to ask, how do you go about joining this financial literacy in the first place?
Basically, you just sign up. We have two forms. One is with Theodore Unona. He is a second year student. And then the other one is with Emily. She's a first year student. So you can just contact any of them. And we also have videos and links that you can follow just to join the WhatsApp group. Currently, if I may just quickly share, we are doing a saving envelope challenge, which is running for the entire first semester. Basically, what you do is that you just come write your name, whether you have registered with the society or you are just interested in joining this challenge. It's a campus challenge. So you sign up, you come with your accountability partner and you sign up. Basically, what you and your accountability partner will do is that you will receive envelopes from me and I will write your names on these envelopes. So you exchange them. So for example, if Laborious was my accountability partner, I would have Laborious envelope and he would have mine. So at the end of each month, specifically on the 30th, but this month we are beginning on the 28th, I will give Laborious a $50 and he will put it in my envelope for me and he will do the same. Now here's the trick about this challenge. Here's what makes it so interesting. If Laborious is late even just by a day to give me that $50, let's say he gives it on the 31st, he has to put an extra $25 in my envelope for me as a late fee. So what this challenge is aimed to teach us as students is, first of all, how to be responsible with your money. Secondly, just how to be accountable. Can you be accountable to the next person? Because obviously we are going to enter into the industries whereby you are going to be placed in positions of power, positions whereby you have resources. Can you have a resource and be responsible with it and not misuse it on your own personal gains? And the other thing is that, can you be committed to something? Can you actually put your mind to something and say that, no, I'm going to be committed to this thing and I'm going to carry it forward? So this challenge will run through the entire of first semester. And for anyone that misses out on joining this challenge, can rejoin again in the next semester.
So
It is officially beginning next Friday once everyone has collected their envelope. Yeah.
So Daniel, would you want to join financial literacy?
Yeah, the way it's been described here, I would love to join.
Just
Since
to gain more understanding on how to spend.
yeah,
I feel like it's nice. Yeah, Finial should be my partner.
You already have a partner. You're sorted. Sorted.
Yeah.
Okay, so since you guys are entrepreneurs, I'm pretty sure it's something that motivate you to start someone.
Oh, going back to the question.
No. Okay, we can leave that question. Just like who you look up to in business world.
So someone that inspires you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say, on my side, I'm inspired by a family member of mine. He inspired me ever since childhood. Even though he's the one that took care of me, he inspired me. He taught me how things go. Yeah. So yeah, he's the one that advised me, gave me instructions on what to do, showed me step by step here and there. And I think I got it right.
That's nice.
So if there was something that you could make for free as a student and is being sold anything, but it's free for today, what would it be?
What is it?
It's free. If you could choose anything to be free as a student, what would it be?
If I could choose anything.
could you please rephrase the question?
Like, okay, let's say accommodation, food. If you could choose one thing to be free,
For a day.
charge $0, what would it be?
Is
Like
it
someone is coming to your room and knocking and giving it to you. What would it be? You will be over a car, over a house.
ShopRite must be free for a day.
Nah.
So that I can call my uncle back at the village that he must come with a bakkie. We are loading. We are loading Alice.
And I'm so much starting at the big portion.
Hey, the 10 kgs. If there is a 20 kg, I'm going for the 20 kg.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I feel like not ShopRite. It should be Metro.
Metro.
Metro, at least the things are in the whole day. You just grab them. No time to waste of selecting all that.
Nah.
Yeah, okay, how about you, Daniel?
I don't know.
You won't even want the car. Maybe I'm blessing you with the car at the end of the podcast. And now you're blessing
There's a lot of things I want, so at this point I don't know which one to
But
choose.
just choose one that's at the
Cash.
heart.
Yeah.
And then what would you do now with the cash?
Spend.
He's my partner.
He's definitely the partner.
Oh.
I think they will already like team.
I can see you guys should just catch me after the podcast, please.
Yeah. The lawyers, how about you?
As I explained to you, as I said, I go for cash as well, but I'm a big fan. Me and you, we are ish. We don't. Yeah, I go for food.
Me? Food is important, you guys. Because every time when I go home, my family will be like, oh, you're getting so skinny. Like, that is, what am I supposed to do now? I'm just pushing assignments, chasing with due dates. It's tough out here, man.
Material science.
Oh, talk about material science. That exam,
Oh my
Okay, so can you guys tell us some of the stuff that when you guys get money, what are some of the stuff that you spoil yourself specifically that one thing that you should always do for yourself?
Would you like to answer first?
Packet of sweets.
Yeah, he likes He's been chasing sweets for a long time.
For me, it's ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah.
What flavor? Ice cream.
Milky Lane.
Milky Lane.
Milky Lane. Yes.
Ish.
But food is important.
Food is important,
Food will never
guys.
leave me.
To never disappoint you.
Never disappoint.
So, but I understand that, as students, it's so difficult sometimes to have free time and all that. But would you really advise students that would you advise students to go out more, like restaurants, exploring the place? Because I'm new here and I haven't been to any place like that.
No, I feel like
Would you advise them to go out more?
I feel like they should, man. I wonder, man, sometimes, like, go walk,
Yeah.
go for a walk. Don't worry about the books.
It's
No. Yeah, but minds are different. And there's just that skillful person that I can go for a walk, but at least, even though I don't do this and this, I know what would happen. Yeah, but go for a walk. Don't stress yourself and stay at the place doing nothing. Oh.
staying there.
Yeah.
You said you're new here. I'm also somehow new. I would say you guys you'll be surprised how many affordable places there are in Ongwediva and Oshakati that you could go to. There are places that offer free swimming, guys. Or just a place whereby you can spend like about $10 or $20 just for swimming. You could also do that. There are so many guest houses with swimming areas that will also ease your mind just from that academic pressure,
Then would you prefer to go out with your friends on a chill Friday? Or would you prefer staying here?
I prefer going with my friends. Yeah, because I'm basically also new to this place, so yeah, I would enjoy a tour of this place. As she said, there's some places that are affordable, free swimming.
Especially with how hot it is here.
Yeah.
Oh, the north is too much.
But,
Boris,
hold on.
I understand you are from Uganda,
Yes. I'm the founder of Ongwediva.
What's that? Big man.
so what are some of the places you would recommend
Yeah,
for
what
us?
recommend places to us so we could go?
There are many places. There's Destiny Hotel. There's a Tuna guest house, Panda guest house. There was Funky at that time.
What is that about? Club
It's a club and also a hotel. It's still there, but it's no more that one. Yeah, there's Rochas, there's there's many places. There's
You
many
should take us
places.
for a tour.
Yeah, one day.
I would say we should go eat kapana, but we are now in the north, so
Ah, but it's nice.
I'm not sure if we are going to be eating beef or we are going to eat fluffy.
That sounds so scary,
But
Papana is nice, but maybe we eat it doggy meat.
we'll worry about that one later. But no, the media committee, we also hosted a movie night just last Friday. It was just $5 for a ticket, $2 for popcorn. That was something to also do rather than just spend your time in your room.
Especially now that it's fall semester for the
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yes, you can take those opportunities, those little opportunities that present themselves. Obviously, throughout the year, there will also be the food festivals and the cultural fairs. Make the most of those opportunities, create memories,
Because you don't want to finish your degree and you have no memories to live.
Zero friends.
Now you're sitting there.
I think that also aids for mental health.
Yeah.
The staff up there in the hostel, especially for the hostel that's for anywhere.
And,
It's
yeah.
okay, so you guys did not answer my last question of how you guys actually started your business, capital. Who actually funded your business? Because we have to, as business owners, we look for that person. It's, laborious.
Yes. As in my case, I'm a face member. The founder of the business is actually an entrepreneur who's a woman. Yeah. So basically, I work with her all times. Yeah, and I'm just there to outgrow the business. Yeah. So she's basically the one who gives her side.
Did you understand you from starting?
Yeah. Guys, if you guys see me repeating outfits from last year, is because I sacrificed my clothing allowance for university clothes, and I decided that no, instead of me splashing the amount on clothes, rather let me put in stock. Put in stock for my hampers, for my biltong. I'll regenerate the money eventually.
So it was all you.
It was all me with that allowance that I received.
That as students we can do it.
If you
There's
choose
nothing
to.
impossible as long as you put your heart to it, you can achieve it.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, but do you, for Didi now, do you think that having student loans is a blessing or a curse? Because I understand a lot of us have NSFA, we have to pay back.
It's a paycheck.
Pay at the end of the 4 years. Or do you think it is a blessing to have NSFA, or do you think, or any other government funding, or do you think it is a curse?
I would say I still have to educate myself properly with regards to that. I'm not exactly sure the workings of everything. So far, it seems like a blessing because at the end of the day, you do get your degree, you do end up with your qualification, but then the qualification now doesn't guarantee a job at the end of it. It doesn't guarantee that after you receive the qualification, you get the job and you will now start generating an income that will allow you to pay back that money. But I think I still have to educate myself more when it comes to that.
I also think that having NSF is actually a blessing for most of us. Because not all of us are coming from working families where they could actually sponsor or pay for our studies.
Yeah.
So at least now a lot of us have an opportunity to study.
True.
And after getting our degree, we can start planning on how to pay back the money. But
Yes.
my advice to students would always be get graduates. Don't settle with NSF. Try and get something that can, especially for the mechanical, the civil, the electrical. They always have graduates available, so you don't really have an excuse. Just work hard and try and make life easier for you.
True.
But I also feel having NSFA kind of just pushes you to work harder because you have to pay this money back.
Yeah.
You
Not
are
your money.
investing in yourself. So
I mean,
work hard so that when you graduate, there's a job to pay you back.
yeah, this is an opportunity presented to us. So you make the most. I'm one person that's all about making the most of whatever opportunities that you are presented with. So you make the most with it.
So, Daniel, I know that you are more of a go with the flow kind of guy, but now after hearing all of what we have discussed today, after hearing how important it is as a student to be financially literate and to be financially responsible, what are your thoughts? What is going through your mind right now? Are you regretting some of the choices you're making, or are you using this opportunity as a learning curve?
Right now, what's running around in my head is of me joining the financial literacy group for better understanding of how I can handle my money. Because I just realized in this podcast that I am not spending money the way it must be spent. Yeah, and then so it's actually a educational curve for me, and I've just hit that wall where I have to stop carelessly spending my money.
So would you feel starting up a budget is going to be helpful for you?
Slow progress. Yeah.
Okay, let's have another icebreaker before we close off the podcast. Okay, so if let's say your allowance was $50, that is very low. I know it's very low. What would be the first thing that you need that you have to buy with that? what would be? $50 is not enough.
$50.
$50, you have to buy something that you need. What can you not survive without, basically? What can you not survive without? Okay, let's say 100, just to be generous. What is it that you need to buy that you cannot survive without? Some people would say go long because it doesn't smell that nice. Some people would say toothpaste. Some people would say instant coach. A lot of people.
Sugar.
How much was you making?
200.
Maybe 200.
Ah, no. With 100, you can make it work. Bread and oros.
Bread and oros.
Bread and oros.
Yo, and guys, have you realized that it's so difficult to keep up with bread? When you buy bread, doesn't the bread hold fast? I have to finish the thing like in maybe 2 days before it starts spoiling, and it's so difficult. So I have to like freeze it
Yeah,
just for it to stay longer. Do you guys experience it? Or is it just me?
I know we do.
We all do.
But we put it in the deep freeze. Freeze it.
Because I don't know like how it tastes like when it's a bit stale.
Then you put it in the microwave.
Just a few seconds.
Just a few
And it
seconds.
feels fresh again.
Yeah, but
What would you buy then? Okay, he says bread and oros.
I hope for cosmetics.
Cosmetics maybe. I must look fresh for it. Yeah.
As long as you're
The change will be there. Fat cakes are around.
Yeah. And then what would you spend $100 on?
Coffee, bread and sugar.
I know.
coffee is $30.
Yeah, bread is 15, sugar is 30 something, so it's within the budget.
But I feel I would probably, it's $100, right?
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, bread. I feel bread probably lasts me like okay, maybe five loaves of bread with butter.
And about you.
Yeah, and I can probably eat 2 slices for every lunch, dinner, and breakfast.
Okay, for $100, I would definitely buy instant. Not instant, what is it? Noodles. A pack of noodles, a 5-pack one. It's like 30 something that you get.
Yeah.
And then I would buy oros that is not more than $20. Oros, yeah, not more than 20. And then obviously, roll on, because wow, it's so hot here. You can't survive that roll.
Not at all.
And then maybe just a chocolate just to reward myself for managing the tough life. So would you guys say that the podcast was actually fun? Did you enjoy it?
I actually enjoyed it. And now I can at least go to Madam Lydia. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you learn a lot as well?
Yeah. I learned a lot about money.
For me, I would say I'm very grateful because I had the platform to actually market the small business as well as just, get everyone knowing about financial literacy and all that.
Because it's important as students.
Very much so.
The things that people buy, it's so scary sometimes when you see how they're
Yeah.
spending their money. Like, how does this person live within their
I
means?
actually wish it was a module,
Yeah.
like a core semester module.
Yeah. That would be very great. Okay, so we are at the end of our beautiful podcast. Please don't be anxious because we have many more to come, so you don't have to worry. But please look at our social medias, be updated because we're always posting, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And share on all your social media platforms. So what you tell your co-host, that's around.